अखियों में देखो मेरी बात, ये बता दो तुम काहे ऐसे जालिम हो पिया। तुम ही ने पायल तोड़ी, हाय रे बैरी जुल्मी तुम, बोलो काहे तोड़ा ये जिया। बोलो ना बोलो सजना, क्यों ये भी सोचा ना कि मुझको मुस्का के मना लो। तुमसे जो रूठी मैं रहूं, यूं बात ना करो तो बोलो कैसे चैन पालूं। पायल तो छोड़ो किस्सा बात का है, जिया कांच का है।
Hi, my name is Aman and I'm really excited to show you how we made our song Jiya Kaanch in this session breakdown. Welcome to the media tribes behind the song. The song starts right with the vocals and we'll break down the first verse, pre-chorus and the chorus and see how it goes.
अखियों में देखो मेरी बात, ये बता दो तुम काहे ऐसे जालिम हो पिया। तुम ही ने पायल।
So there's like a little gated synth going on. How we made that was we got a ghost groove, which is you can take any sound that you want, and this is the ghost groove. And we sidechained this one to these two pads here. So the pads without the sidechaining sounds like this, and with the sidechaining sound like this. So the effect of, so the same groove is printed here, the same synth. So the effect of that sidechain groove on the synth kind of helps us create this groovy part.
तुम ही ने पायल तोड़ी, हाय रे बैरी जुल्मी तुम, बोलो काहे तोड़ा ये जिया। बोलो ना बोलो सजना, क्यों ये भी सोचा ना कि मुझको मुस्का के मना लो।
This is where we started getting a little bit of the bass. So if you hear the groove, which is this, and then the bass is this. My very good friend and very talented tabla player, Vaibhav Dhuradkar, he did his thing on the song and he sent us this lovely part which is used like this. Very basic, just you can call it like tabla stacks. They are DT'd left and right. So this is how this part of the song sounds together.
बोलो ना बोलो सजना, क्यों ये भी सोचा ना कि मुझको मुस्का के मना लो। बोलो ना।
These are some of the synths that are playing in the back. Some combination of sounds, basically just backing the melodic part in the song. And then we go to the chorus of the song.
बोलो ना बोलो सजना, क्यों ये भी सोचा ना कि मुझको मुस्का के मना लो। तुमसे जो रूठी मैं रहूं, यूं बात ना करो तो बोलो कैसे चैन पालूं।
So I'll quickly break down the chorus of the song for you guys to understand how we put it together. The propelling element of the groove was a clock sound that we were working with, and we made a groove out of it. This is how this sounds by itself. We added some processing on it in order to make it a little more groovier. So we added a gate to make it a little tighter. Sample delay for some width. Then we added some echo, which kind of propelled the groove, and this is how it sounds. So if you keep listening to that groove, this is the context with respect to the whole groove. So if you hear this thing, just by itself. It's that. So we can now discuss the chorus of the song. I'm going to play the chorus and the drop, and then we can break it down as to how we went about putting it all together.
पायल तो छोड़ो किस्सा बात का है जिया कांच का है पायल तो छोड़ो किस्सा बात का है जिया कांच का है
There are a couple of sections, 2 points in particular in the song, where there's an opportunity to bring the song to a full halt. And I was very keen on that. And so Aman and I chatted about it. And Aman liked the bass fill and I liked the hard stop. So we kind of found that in between ground. And in the first, I think after the first music is where we decided to get a full stop. And on the second time, we had the bass interlude and the filler, and it turned out to be really good. And yeah, that was a lot of fun.
यूं बात ना करो तो बोलो कैसे चैन पालो पायल तो छोड़ो किस्सा बात का.
So the blackout that he's talking about, if you just mute the voices, here's how the blackout happens.
पायल तो छोड़ो किस्सा बात.
And in the second one,
यूं बात ना करो तो बोलो कैसे चैन पालो पायल तो छोड़ो किस्सा बात का.
so this is a little sample that we used, which is 808.
When I heard the early demos of the song, I mean, I was really blown away by the bass line. And I'm a sucker for great bass lines. And this song has just that. And so I was chatting with Aman that the bass has come out great, but the groove is a little shy. So why don't we bring some edge into the groove? And so we started making drafts and, having some updates made on the groove section to going from very aggressive to going shy. And we found like a good in-between balance, which gives a good thrust to the song. The bass is not disturbed, which for me is a real big part of the song. And the final version is what you hear. So it's a good balance of edge and vibe. And I'm glad that we were able to achieve that.
Now that we know how the groove sounds, I'm going to quickly solo individual elements for you guys to hear how it was put together. We'll start with the kick drum. There are a few more kick drums over here. A few hi-hats. Some drums. Some hi-hats here, some side sticks, claps, and then of course the clock. So those are the individual elements used in the groove. With bass, what I'd like to do is I take a couple of different sounds, maybe 3, 4, sometimes usually 2, and I'll kind of use the 2 different sounds to kind of make one bass part. I'll give you an example. So this is how the groove sounds right now. So I'm going to solo the first bass sample. You'll know that it kind of sounds incomplete because the other part of the bass is played by a different sound. So this is the first sound. And then the second part is... So that's the chorus bass. Something similar is going on in the second verse of the song, or antara of the song. I'll quickly show that to you as well. So this is the groove in the antara. There are a few new elements that are added, and this is the groove going on. So what I'll do is I'll quickly solo bass elements one by one for you to see how I kind of get a few different sounds together. I'll sometimes get, in this case, for example, all the slapping popping is recorded with a Fender Precision bass that we have at the studio. So you can check this out. This is our 2600V by Arturia. And the second thing that we'd add is this guy. Then when you add little bits in between, this is what you get. So now that we know how the bass works, I'm going to individually solo elements for you to know what all's happening. So this is the bass and the groove. I'm going to quickly break this down. It's like a little pluck sound. It's Alchemy from Logic. And a few more pads here. I think that's about it. So if we go back to the groove and the bass, that's what we've got. So there are a couple more elements that I'd like to show you as a part of the keys section. So this is where we are at. And then these set of people are adding just one more dimension to the sound. We have the keys now, we have the bass and the groove, and then I tracked acoustic guitar on the song, and Ashish sir had a very cool thing to say about how we could use the acoustic guitar. So I'm going to quickly play the demo first. When me and Abhijit were ideating on the song, I remember we said the chorus that we kept singing or humming with some dummy lyrics had a little extra line extra melody in between the chorus. I'm going to play you that. Check this out. So now that's the chorus. This one. So we kept singing this, and we thought it can be a lovely part in the song. And I sent a draft to Ashish sir about the same, and he suggested that we just keep the acoustic guitars and feature them.
If you've heard the song and you know about the part where the guitar plays ching 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 ching, and for me that part was outstanding. Now, I think between Abhijit and Aman, they had a vocal line that was supposed to come in there. And I thought that the vocal line got in the way. And so I proposed that why don't we don't have anything over there and just feature the guitar, because it gave us relief in the song and it was a lovely part, and that's what we went with eventually, and I really enjoy it, and it's one of the special features in the song for me that really stands out.
This is the acoustic guitar by itself with the now if you hear it with the vocal, Prateeksha has done a marvelous job, as all of you know. There is that little gap. Guitar is just automated so that it can be featured. Check this out.
पायल तो छोड़ो किस्सा बात का है, जिया कांच का है। पायल तो छोड़ो किस्सा बात का है।
So when we decided to keep that, I think Ashish sir put a lovely little lick in the song, which is this. And with the context of the song, this is how it sounds.
पायल तो छोड़ो किस्सा बात का है, जिया कांच का है।
So I will break down the drop so that we can see how it's put together. This is after the chorus. The Shehnai by itself sounds a little different than how it sounds in the record. I'm going to play it to you by itself without any processing on it. So it's got a much higher formant. It's a little harsh. And in the song, this is how it would have sounded without the processing. So I thought it could just go down in its formant so that it reduces the harshness. The overall harshness goes down. So we used Sound Toys Little Alter Boy. The formant goes down by that number. There's a UAD plugin called Space Echo RE201. It's one of my favorite delays. Then some stereo thing. We're using sample delay and a little bit of EQ where we cut the low end. And this is the fit. Excellent. So that's the Shehnai. The Shehnai was backed with some really very versatile different elements. If I just solo those for you, this is how they sound. With the Shehnai, this is how they kind of gel together. So there's this some kind of harmonic thing going on with the Shehnai. We added a completely different guitar and bass line in this section, and a new bass sound again, a more something that could be featured. It was like a square wave from Nexus, like a basic square wave bass patch. Then we doubled it with a mini V from Arturia. So this is the patch. And then doubled with this guy. And then a few more basses. Some tabla. And some groove. Of course, there was some acoustic from before. That's how it fits into the song. I'll quickly talk to you guys about some vocal processing on this song. The vocals were recorded with a Slate ML1, which is a lovely microphone. And there are a few plugins on top of the voice.
क्यों में देखो मेरी बात ये बता दो तुम काहे ऐसे जालिम हो पिया तुम ही ने पायल तोड़ी हाय रे बेरी जुल्मी तुम बोलो काहे तोड़ा ये जिया.
Just to make it fit into the track, we just added a few things to kind of make her sit well with respect to all the bunch of different sounds and elements. We started with RVox, which is doing a little bit of compression, and we use this plugin more as a gate. So you hear what happens when you do that.
अखियों में देखो मेरी बात ये बता दो तुम काहे ऐसे जालिम हो पिया.
That's about it. This is ATR 102. It's a UAD plugin. It adds a beautiful texture to the voice as well. And then there's one more UAD plugin. This is UAD SSL E-channel strip. The compressor is turned on, and there are some EQ tweaks, a little boost on 10 and 3000 hertz, and about 250 is taken down just a little bit. This is the difference that is made till now.
अखियों में देखो मेरी बात ये बता दो तुम काहे ऐसे जालिम हो पिया.
It's become a little brighter for sure. Then we've gotten CL1B. It's a lovely compressor again by Universal Audio. Some EQing by Harrison 32C. Again a UAD plug. A DSR. Again a UAD guy. This is probably my favorite DSR. Then we got Pro MB, which is a multi-band compressor, and a couple of little tweaks here. 442 hertz and 15,000 hertz roughly. This is how the vocal sounds by that.
अखियों में देखो मेरी बात ये बता दो तुम काहे ऐसे जालिम हो पिया.
And one last compressor is the Teletronics LA2A, again a UAD plug. It's doing a little bit.
बात ये बता दो तुम काहे ऐसे जालिम हो पिया.
So without any of these plugs, the voice sounds like this.
तुम ही ने पायल तोड़ी हाय रे बेरी जुल्मी तुम बोलो काहे तोड़ा ये जिया. बोलो ना बोलो सजना क्यों ये भी सोचा ना कि मुझको मुस्का के मना लो.
I'll quickly break down what kind of effects are used on our voices. So if you see, I've got a EMT 140, which is a Universal Audio plug. And this is how the reverb sounds here. It's a nice ambient space. Then the other one is a Lexicon 480L, and there is a little bit of delay and probably some filtering going on before it hits the reverb on the bus. And we've got a large Hault setting. This is how the reverb sounds. It's a little far away. So together they sound like that. Then we've got a third reverb, which is Space Designer, that comes with Logic. And I've got an old vintage Spring. That's my go-to preset really. So that's the third reverb that we've used. This is how the reverb sounds by itself. It's a little brighter. Together they sound like that. And when you take the voice up, this is how it sounds.
तुम बोलो काहे तोड़ा ये जिया बोलो ना बोलो सजना क्यों ये भी सोचा ना कि मुझको मुस्का के मना लो तुमसे जो रूठी मैं रहूं.
And then we've got one more reverb that we've used, which is a vocal going to the delay and then delay to the reverb. So we've got H delay, which is a lovely Waves plugin. And we've got 58 milliseconds of delay there going into Tal verb. I think this is a free plugin. So that's like the ambient space going on behind. So together the whole thing sounds like this. The second verse of the song, we already spoken about the bass, but I'll quickly tell you what all went into putting that arrangement together. We already have the groove, so I'm going to solo that. The bass, as I said, was done into a few different parts. If you see visually, we've got there are some strings over here and some woodwinds that we programmed. And one of my favorite patches is Solina Strings Mountain Flutes, that one. And to add to the groove of the song, we added a little bit of electric guitar. This is a Fender Stratocaster recorded on a Vox AC30. So that's kind of the backing arrangement for the vocal, and then we have the tune for the voice, which is the whole thing sounds like this, which kind of goes into the pre-chorus, which is a similar arrangement, and eventually into the chorus of the song. We'll go there one by one. So this is, we've got Antara, or the next verse of the song. आता नहीं कुछ ढंग से अनाड़ी हो कसम से झुमके भी हाय तोड़े ये क्या किए पायल भी तोड़ी मेरी हाय रे बेरी और तोड़ा मेरा ये जिया किसको बताऊं जाके सारी मैं शिकायत तेरी ऐसा होता है क्या पिया. And then we go back to the pre-chorus, which is a very similar arrangement as to the first pre-chorus. That's a lovely little role played by the very talented Vaibhav Turatkar.
यूं बात ना करो तो बोलो कैसे चैन पालो पायल तो छोड़ो किस्सा बात का है जिया कांच का है पायल तो छोड़ो किस्सा बात का है जिया कांच का है
I hope you had a great time. If there are any questions, please do put it in comments, or you can get in touch with us on Instagram or on our website. This is Behind the Song by the Media Tribe. It's an institute for sound engineering and music production under Boon Castle Education in India. We're located in Mumbai right now, and I am hoping to see you guys next time where we do the next set of session breakdowns. Thank you and goodbye.